Hey guys, I'm Kaylyn and welcome back to Fable Hill Farm. Today I'm going to be talking seed starting 2021 with you and all of the new tools and methods I'm implementing this year to make seed starting super organized and easy for me to get everything started on time and to have effective, successful germination of the seeds that I'm starting. So seed starting labels and bags and buckets of seeds. Oh my. So I'm going to be showing you how I've organized everything this year. I'm going to show you my seed starting setup, my light setup that I've got behind me here, my heat mat, my different LED lights that I experimented with last year. And I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I'm growing. I've got some pepper seeds I want to get germinated, so I've got to get those bags labeled and get my pepper seeds pulled out so I can get those going, because peppers are the first thing that gets started around here. We are again in Michigan, zone 5B, and so we've got a relatively short growing season compared to those of you who might be, say, in southern climates or warmer climates. But we've got enough time. I'm a big planner, and so that's why the methods I'm showing you today are going to be so much more helpful for me this year to stay on top of seed starting. So I've got lots of time to get my peppers and tomatoes and everything going. But today is the day to start pepper seeds. I don't want to get too far behind. I thought I would take you guys along as I talk a little bit about seed starting. And I've got lots of videos upcoming that are going to be talking about the garden planning. We have our raised beds that we built last year. We've got our greenhouse that we built last year. And we're going to be doing a lot of different things this year in the garden, really dialing it in with the varieties I'm growing for what is going to be most usable, both fresh and for food preservation. And I'm going to be sharing all of that with you guys. So if you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. So I got the idea of using a calendar to help me to organize my seed starting from Gardener Scott. And if you're not familiar with him, I will link his channel down below. I love Gardener Scott's videos because he's just a really knowledgeable gardener, but he's very educational and he's just really straight to the point, I feel like, and gives so much great information. And so Gardener Scott is a cool guy, and you should definitely check out his channel if you don't know who he is. So the calendar has allowed me to just organize everything. When does it need to be started? When's my last frost date? When is the first day that I'm likely to plant certain things? And also I want to give myself a little window for either my schedule conflicting with when I thought I was going to start seeds or when I need to start seeds. So I kind of gave myself a couple of extra weeks when I wrote everything down. So more of a range of time in my mind that I need to do something instead of just it has to be done on this day or otherwise it's too late. I went ahead and organized all of my seeds that I wanted to start, going through the boxes of all my seeds, and then actually picking out the varieties I wanted to start, wanted to grow. A lot of things that I grew last year, I'm not growing this year, and that's because I just didn't want to experiment as much this year as I did last year because I was kind of overwhelmed with all of these experimental plant varieties that were really cool to see them grow or to learn about them or to get to experience all of these new, fruits, and vegetables. Tomatoes are fruits, so I say fruit loosely here as far as we're not talking about picking off a fruit tree, but the fruits and vegetables that I grew last year, I really enjoyed everything I grew, but there were a lot of things that I just didn't know what to do with, or I didn't have enough time to really think about how I could properly use that item. And so nothing ever goes to waste on a homestead, whether we feed it to our chickens or feed it to our pigs when we have pigs, or it goes as a treat to the goats, or it goes into the compost pile. Nothing goes to waste. But I felt overwhelmed and I really wanted to dial it in this year and to grow things that I knew that we would eat a lot fresh, like jalapenos and serrano peppers are going to be great complements with a classic bell pepper to chili. And so instead of growing 19 varieties of peppers this year, I am focusing on quite a few less and just things that we need, things we will use. And just overall, I'm not doing as big of an in-ground garden this year. I'm going to be showing you some different experiments I'm trying as far as gardening methods and mediums and things like that. So I just wanted to be more relaxed. I didn't want to be so busy with the garden this year. I mean, the garden's still going to be super chaotic and busy and time consuming, especially when it comes down to harvest and preservation. And those are things I will show you guys, of course. But I just overall wanted to be a little bit less stressed out this year. And then I went and I wrote down a list. I wanted to start how many extras did I want to sell and how many did I want for myself. I then went from the notebook to the calendar and started thinking about, okay, when do I need to start these things? You need to know how long your growing season is. So you want to know your last frost date. You want to know your first frost date. And then from there, you want to know typically what is 10 to 12 weeks from your last frost date. So you know some of those longer germinating, longer maturing plant varieties like peppers, for example, which take a really long time, and tomatoes as well. You want to know, when do I need to start these things? And for me last year, I was kind of overwhelmed because I would think, oh, I need to start, lettuce seeds, or oh, I need to start herb seeds. But then I kept feeling like I was behind because I couldn't get to it right the moment I thought about it. So the calendar is, again, something I'm super excited about. I think it's going to be really helpful for someone who is a visual person like me. And I also like to schedule and plan things that I know I need to get done so that way they actually get done. So thank you, Gardener Scott, for that. And the notebook and the kind of organizing and thinking about what I wanted to grow and how many I wanted to grow and how many I was planning on selling. That idea came from Kaylyn over at Whispering Willow Farm. And if you haven't checked her out, she's got a pretty well-known channel at this point. She's good friends with Jess and Maya over at Roots and Refuge Farm. And so I found her channel through Roots and Refuge, and I'm glad I did. She puts out some really nice content, and she talked about how she sells plants and how she kind of organizes herself for selling plants. And that was something she talked about, was the making of a list as far as thinking about how many varieties do you really want to offer, limiting, your varieties while still offering something different or special to draw people into your, the plants that you yourself are selling, instead of getting them from, Bobby Sue down the lane or from their local, big box kind of store. What is unique about what you're offering? So thank you, Kaylyn, for that. That was a helpful concept, and that helped me again to organize and to be more focused with what I wanted to grow this year. So then the third thing that I did was I took all those varieties and I put them into Ziploc bags and labeled them, and that way I could have everything that I was going to be growing and starting in one handy dandy little place. I borrowed this bucket from my daughter. She was actually kind of upset about it. That was for building blocks. And I just put everything in here, and that way when I look at the calendar and I say, oh, it's time to direct sow cucumbers, I have all the cucumber varieties I'm working with. And then I can also take my notebook and I can just refer to, oh, I wanted to start this many cucumbers, whether for myself or, if I'm going to be selling cucumbers, plant starts. So I've got everything organized, and I feel so much more confident about how I am going to be approaching seed starting this year. Now I'm going to show you guys my setup for seed growing, propagation, all of that in the house. So this is my seed starting setup in my master bathroom, and I just have a metal shelf here. You can see I've got some 10-20 trays and some little pots on the bottom, and I've actually got a huge order of stuff coming in, so I'll be sharing that with all of you guys this year. I've got some different lights here. The skylight for one in the bathroom, and all of these mirrors I think is going to make a big difference in the overall health of these plants compared to being in the garage windowless last year. I've got different LEDs, strip lights, and some just cheap LEDs that I was experimenting with. Got my heat mat, of course, with the temperature control on it, and I mostly use that for germinating pepper and tomato seeds. And that was pretty affordable. I want to say it was $35 or $45, and the lights were all relatively affordable as well. I think we're going to add a couple more in this year. The last thing I need to do is add some more zip ties so that this area is organized and cleaned up, and you'll see in the next clip that I've gone ahead and done so. All right, so I've got my two 10-20 trays here set up with the serrano and jalapeno. There wound up being a ton of jalapenos, so I think just a couple rows I still need to plant, but a lot had germinated. And then over here I've got the few cayenne and paprika that germinated, and I've got all these open spots here I'll have to add seeds to later. And then I thought I'd just show you guys real quick what I planted in these additional cells here. So a couple things I'm just experimenting with this time of year. Again, Michigan Zone 5B. So I wanted to try out some more cooler weather crops, see if I could get a jump start, grow them fresh, and transition them to the greenhouse. So we've got this super red romaine lettuce from M.I. Gardner. Got this slow, oh no. I just dumped my packet of corn Dutch salad green seeds. Apparently I opened it from the bottom for some silly reason. There's seeds everywhere. Rats, they're all over the floor too. Well, that's life, I guess. Got a mess here, but got most of them off. Now I'm gonna have to watch for random germination of corn Dutch salad, even in my pepper cells. So worst possible place to spill seeds is going to be on top of your seed starting trays that you already have labeled and ready to go for other seeds. So there's some in the top there, but I can't possibly dig every single one of them out. Those corn Dutch salad, I planted some of those. Can't show you the packet right side up now because apparently there's a hole in the bottom. So corn Dutch salad greens. I did some slow bolt arugula. We like arugula for burgers and maybe just like a little bit in salad. Cilantro. This is a slow bolt cilantro from M.I. Gardner. I think I just got dirt on my face. The slow bolt cilantro is nice, and we always regret when we don't have it fresh for tacos. We love our tacos around here. And then the Paris Island cause lettuce, which is just like a really nice traditional plain green lettuce that's good for salads and burgers, and you can get some nice heads if you grow them like that, or just pick them small, and it's a great base for most salads. So I think doing that with the red romaine will be really nice. And then I'm also growing this Chinese amaranth or green Chinese multicolored spinach, which I have had these seeds for a couple of years, and I said I was going to grow them last year and I just didn't, and I regretted it. And so I'm excited to finally grow these. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was either encouraging or informational, or maybe a little of both, to those of you who are in the position of starting seeds for the first time, or looking to get a little bit more bold and start more seeds this year maybe than you did last year. Like I said, last year was the first year I ever started seeds, and I was so amazed by how much seeds just want to grow. They really do. So don't be afraid to start your own seeds. It's such a cool experience and a process of seeing seeds grow and knowing that you have access to all of these amazing varieties that you would never see in a grocery store or at your local nursery even. You know, the varieties that are offered are usually so limited compared to the thousands and thousands of varieties of seeds that are out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning about how I'm organizing my seed starting this year, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and the notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I am so thankful to all of my viewers, the people who take the time to watch my videos, who interact with me, who like, who comment, who subscribe, who share my videos. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.